Hi all. It is June 15th. We've been back a little over a week, recouping, showing how garden is. I'm anxiously waiting for my Japanese ichibon eggplants. I got one that's almost ready for me to eat. I don't let them get too big because I'm the only one that eats them. I've got 3. Yeah, baby. But yeah, everything is slowly but surely coming. I've got a couple more nadapenos picked and realized our Carmen wasn't Carmen. It was an Aji mango. Missy, that's the one that you asked me about last year, the yellow ones that you love so much that I brought over. Yeah, it's full. You'll get more. So, yeah, my new peppers, one of them that I was told about by one of you all, the listias are getting nice and big. So, yep, the orange and the red. So I'm hoping. Told they'd get bigger than a bell pepper, so I'm waiting to see. Full of everything. Figured out, and I put the blame on the wrong critter. It wasn't the squirrels that were wrecking havoc back here. Well, they were, but not to the point I caught 2. Chip and Dale, aka chipmunks. Yeah, they have somehow made a burrow underneath that wood, and I caught them coming out and digging in the pots. Yeah. Now if I just get Jake to get rid of them for me. I haven't had chipmunks in years, and a pair has decided to make my backyard their home. So, but a lot of the hots are getting hot. They're getting big. That's that super chili. That cayenne purple is getting there. This purple cayenne has got some almost ready. So, Bill, that's what I was telling you about. It's a little hotter than a regular cayenne. At least that's what I've been told, since I don't eat those. But it's coming along. And so, but some of my milkweed is starting to get ready to flower. I haven't seen any monarchs since the couple weeks. And so, and I was like, come on, plenty of the other butterflies. So, but yeah, that Aji mango is loaded. We fed everybody after that video last week that I did. We did a walkthrough. We noticed we had a lot of issues. Everybody first feeding. A lot of my potatoes needing feeding, but this is one of the older ones like up front, so I'll probably be pulling that in the next few weeks. So, and then the tomatoes had spider mites, whiteflies, and aphids. So yeah, not just one, all 3 decided to show up. So, but black Susans are getting their flower heads. Went to McCoy's on 62, brought her over 40 sweet potato slips, and we did trading, got some more yellow squash, since those chipmunks have destroyed them. So, the little garden back here, Mark's, we got a total of pint off of his raspberry bush. We got a bunch that are getting close, but the birds have been eating them. So, and a couple of my multi-heads that the wind knocked down are just still flowering and going, which is fine. The special Canaans are all doing good, flowering back here. They seem to like this corner. So, yup, that's how that wind is going. This bee balm it's still trying to recruit from the chipmunks destroying it. So, but yeah. I also picked up a couple more moonflowers because mine are just slowly going, but we just put these in yesterday and they're freaking going nuts. Mark bitching and complaining that He doesn't like these lilies because they're one and done. I was like, that's why I got daylilies. They go all season. So, yeah, the birds have been, it's knocking that sunflower over. So, daylilies. So, I've gotten 3 zucchini so far, and I've got a couple more in a few more days. They'll be ready. So, some of my bee balm has started. Jake making his rounds. So, and this Japanese cucumber has decided this is its growing place. It has wrapped itself up and around, and we're just letting it go. I'm just checking it. It does have cucumbers. It has quite a few cucumbers, so I just have to check that just to make sure. Zinnias have finally popped. Some of the bees are happy. We had really high winds yesterday, so a lot of these got blown off, so we were doing some doctoring, but looks like that white literally took off. I'll have to let Mark know so we can get that away from the fence. So, but we've only gotten 1 cucumber, well, 2. 1 Space Master and a half of a small white. Mark will have the white in his lunch, but these guys they're coming along. They all got cucumbers. I know they got pollinated. This thing was loaded with bees. So it's just trying to get them growing. Hey, thank you. I'm talking about bees and bumblebees buzzing my head. So, but yeah, mint's all getting big. Kids come over on Sunday for Father's Day. I'll see if they want any, if fresh. If not, I'll harvest. But tomatoes, they are getting big and tall. Those Amishes, first 4 are almost to the 9-foot top poles. So this week I've got to go through and move the clips up and check everybody. So no tomatoes are quite ready. That white one's almost ready. So Mark is not being very patient. He's just like, they haven't grown. I'm like, yes, they have. You're just being impatient. So he's looking forward to all his crims. He's got a lot of crims in here. So, yep, those are Cherokees. Everybody's doing well. Other than Amishes some of them are still struggling. So, but the first 4 are getting, like I said, really, really big. But some of these flowers I got to rotate. They're not happy in the shade. Like some of these here, I got to, now that everything's growing up, get everything. And then I did get a couple new daylilies. They're pink. I don't have pink daylilies, so that one's there. And my dill, I'm letting it go right now because I have no cucumbers ready yet. And I'm checking it every day, looking for little caterpillars, since it's I believe the black swallowtail this is their host plant. So I'm keeping an eye on that. So, all right. Most everything, our spares have been planted, but everything on the table right here, all this is going to our friends Chris and Palo on Saturday. We went there Sunday and checked out where we're going to help them get their garden beds going. And so all day Saturday we'll be over there. So these sweet potatoes are going. So the only thing left for me to plant is my extra Mexican sunflower. So all that's been, so come Saturday, I'll have my picnic table free again. Perfect timing for Father's Day. I hear you, little one. All right, let's go out. Mark's playing guard because Jake has been trying to get out the front here. We can't figure out what he is fixated on. My black daylilies have finally opened. So I think they're just so cool looking. Not daylilies, just my regular lilies. I wish I could find black daylilies that would bloom all season. So, but yeah, I got flowers on my elderberry. So anybody that's ever grown elderberry, do the berries form from the flowers? I take it. I think this was the one that's self-pollinating. So it looks like my figs are getting ready to get flowers. So hopefully I'll get more than one fig. But that's how that's going. These guys are about 2.5, 3 feet tall over here. I know I got to deadhead a bunch of stuff. So I got this somewhat cleaned up. I've got flour coming from the aloe I got from my in-laws in front of their house. So they're happy. Other than my angel wing, she did have a bunch of flowers, but she's just not happy this year. I'm going to have to really get her a new pot and stuff. So, but these canons are taller over here, and this one's already got its first flower. Oh, that one's getting flowers too. Oh, I didn't even see. I didn't water tonight. Mark did. So this is the first time I'm seeing the flowers coming. So, but yeah, that's how that's going. We did pick our first 2 pumpkins. I took the biggest one right there. I learned you don't let them turn orange on the vine. They rot. So it is turning. So, but gave the other one to the little that lives there, Sharon and Tony. And we're all trying to figure out, I know this isn't a gourd. That's the second of the bigger one. I got this funky melon. I don't remember the name of it during the winter. It was really good. I just threw the seeds out. Can you see the big one? No, I can't get the big one down there. But it's like twice the size of that one there. It was a mixture of a honeydew and a cantaloupe. And everybody liked it. And I just threw the seeds out here. I'm thinking that's what it is. So, but I don't have any of my mini gourds yet here. And nothing here yet. Watermelon, out of the 4 plants, is struggling. But this is what gave me 2 pumpkins. And it's got a bunch of more little tiny ones. And then we have one good one hanging off there. There's another one. So I just came through and trimmed, and I had to trim up on that side because the leaves were covering Sharon's canons, and I didn't want to do that. Sweet potatoes are looking good. They're starting to climb on the fence. I just got these planted. I've got, those are the Mizuki Japanese white, and I've got my purples in the house that I'm going to be planting next week. Tomatoes out here are all looking good. We just came through, cleaned them up, and I ran out of my tall poles, so I guess I got to go hit Menards to get some more 9-foot poles. But these brand new. That's that San Marzano. So everybody's growing them and told us we should grow them. They're sweet Italians and paste. So we're like, okay, but they're loaded. These are, I believe, are whites, and I think a Cherokee and Crim. So, and these cucumbers have finally started grabbing on, climbing. I just spent time getting them. Oh, you came undone, you little brat. Trying to get these climbing up the trellis. So they're coming along. Hopefully I'll have a good crop of cucumbers this year. I did the other day see 2 squash beetles on the pumpkins when I was cutting the pumpkins off. I knocked them off into the ground and I squashed them. And then we've already checked, didn't see any eggs out here at all, or even on the zucchini. So I'm hoping I got it in time. Plus we neemed the heck out of everything when we saw the aphids and whiteflies stuff. This one is one of our older ones. So it is turning. We'll probably harvest this. I did check. There is potatoes in there. So yeah, another couple weeks once everything starts to die out, turn more yellow. Our first round, another sand. It's big. It doesn't have as many tomatoes as the smaller ones, but it's tall. My sunflower ring is completely open. It's a buzz from morning to sunset. It's just full of bees. These peppers, this is that new one we tried, the dragonfly, and they're turning, but it looks like something's been trying to eat it. But I'm like, told Mark, I said, I think it's just a purple bell pepper. But the thing didn't say it was a bell pepper, so I have to look it up. I got it at Old Time Nursery in Otisco, just a few miles up the road. But these Jimmy Nards are getting really big, and they're getting close. And I just need them to start turning red, but they're getting big. So, Amy K, I gave you some of these. They look like cayennes, but they're not cayennes. So, just remember, they're not kill yous. Not the stuff I gave Travis, but they're all full. So, but yeah, these tomatoes are struggling, but it's the Amishes. They're divas, but yeah, look at the sunflower. And the golden finches have been busy just as much as the bees. They're out here in the morning just going to town. So, their little one. I keep, every time I see a bumblebee, I got to check because there's that site, there's a rare bumblebee that has, only the females don't have it, the males do. It has a brown spot on its back. If you see that, you're supposed to report it because it's endangered. And so I've been, I have Mark even looking. Yeah, golden finches went to town on that one. So every time I see a bumblebee, it's like checking to see if it's got a brown patch, because there's a website you can go on. You're supposed to report if you see it so they can track how many and where. And Southern Indiana, they said they're here. I just haven't seen any. All right, let's go look over here. Oh, yeah, we did some changes over here. Oh, God, the skunks and raccoons pretty much have knocked all the stalks off my garlic. But guess what? We harvested all. We got so much garlic. And the garlic beds have now been replaced with the late season tomatoes. Well, that one there and that one, they were there. They were our surprise. We have no idea. That white, it does not look happy. I'll have to tell Mark. But all back there are whites. But that's an Amish. And these are just the rest of our crims and everything. And it turns out my bird dropping sunflowers are multi-head. So I had to tie it against the fence so I can see it over the fence. So, yeah. So all garlic has been pulled. This is what we did yesterday. Well, we pulled the garlic the day before, and then yesterday we sat here and got the dirt and beds ready. Planted the last, Carmen's there, and the last of my small habaneras here. So, but yeah, the raccoons and the skunks were just going along the fence, well, rolling in the garlic, and then digging up for grubs, and then go, because we've been catching them. That's where Mark moved the trail cam to. And they had babies with them. This finally broke. When we went to McCoy's on 62, I also got some butternut squash because mine kept crapping out. So there's my butternut squash. Got these cucumbers. This is where we've gotten the space and the white off already. So they're happy. They've got cucumbers. They just got to get big. And then this kohlrabi crapped out. Picked up some more pickle bush from McCoy's. My trellises, I usually have my moonflowers. I just said I'm having trouble with moonflowers this year, so these are going to be used for cucumbers. So, and Mark's radishes, they're coming along. Dragon tails are flowering again. We cut down some of the pear tree. Remember my mystery tomato I had up here? Well, it was this tall. With all those high winds, even though when we were pulling out the garlic, it was fine. We augmented everything, got everything ready to put the rest of these tomatoes and peppers up here. High wind came by and it killed it. That's what that is. It was so heavy laying down. So I've got it, what was left of it. I cleaned it up and got it in water, see if it will sprout again. So, but that's pretty much how we're done planting everything. Oh, yeah. Mexican sunflowers have opened. Everything about this plant we've never grown. The leaves are soft, the petals are soft, the stems, everything is so fuzzy. But you can't harvest them, the seeds, until they get hard like coneflowers. And then they turn into prickly little things and they hurt. But yep, they're finally opened and these will bloom all season. I just took the third one out of there and gave it to Sharon. I'm going to probably, this one is covering this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to pull that one and put it somewhere else. So, but yes, I'm finally happy. It was loaded with bees this morning. So I love Mexican sunflowers. Alrighty, that's pretty much how the update is. I hope everybody has a good weekend and all those fathers out there have a happy Father's Day. Whether you're a fur baby or a human baby father. I'll see y'all next week. Bye.